Alright, let's go over a few basics using Class Dojo. Right now I'm on my home screen and it says Weldon's test class, and let's say I want to rename this Mr. Weldon's second grade class. Well, all I have to do is I can click, and there's several ways. I can click here and then edit the class from here, or if I was in the class itself I could go to the top right where it says edit the class and it would give me the same features. Notice there are three different areas to customize your class. You have basic information, you have your students, and then you have your customized behaviors. So you have positive and you have needs work. It used to be called negative. They're going with more positive information now. And so now from students, this is where you would edit their little Class Dojo avatar, or if their name's spelled incorrectly, or if you want to put a nickname in, this is where you would go in and fix that. Or if you wanted to remove a student that is possibly moved away. Now in the basic information, that's where I could change the name of this class to Mr. Weldon's second grade class. When I hit save and close, now my class is going to be that. How do I know? I'll go back to where it says home screen up here, and now my class is renamed. Now just a few basics. We're going to click inside and show you some of the features it has. First of all, you have a timer. Great to have a countdown timer. Categorize what activities you're doing, and it gives it a time limit. You can either go up or down with it. You can have a countdown, 5-minute timer, and start. Or you can do a count up. If you want to hide the timer, you just click on this icon right here. And now it's gone. Attendance. If you wanted the students to do attendance, this is a great way. If you have a smart board in your classroom, you can have the attendance button activated, and then the student would click on the ones that you want them to have it. So for instance, I could leave it green right now and change them all to yellow and have them come touch the screen. So as they walk in, they can touch their screen one time, and it would make them marked as present. And the ones that did not mark, they'd be the ones that are absent. So I'd come back, and then I'd make sure I'd mark them as absent. So when I save my attendance, those students will not receive group points or have points taken away in a group setting as well. So now we have our students that are here. Next, here's how you award positive and negative behavior. Let's say Amber is doing a great job in class. I can click on her name. And these are 6 predefined Class Dojo positives that you can reward students for. Right now, let's say Amber is doing well and she's on task. And she gets a point. Now Amber and Brittany are working well together, right? If I want to award multiple students, these two in particular, I can click on Award Multiple Students, click on Amber and Brittany, and then give an award. And now I can put teamwork. Notice the point totals have gone up, 2 and 1. Right? Let's say David's doing a good job. He's being very persistent, so we'll give him a point. And that's how it will go on the positive side. Now, if a student does something that is one of your classroom rules, that's a violation of, you can click on her name, let's say Iris, and needs work, and you could put down off task. Notice the sounds you hear is the same sounds you'll hear from your computer as well as from your mobile devices. So that's how you will take away and add points each time. Let's say Gilda was being disrespectful. Now if you have multiple students in trouble here, you could do that as well. Award multiple students in Howard and Gilda, right? Give an award, we go to the negative, and we'll say they don't have their. So that's how you will add and take away points in your Class Dojo. You how to import names into your Class Dojo roster. So I'm at my home screen right now, where if I clicked on Class Dojo, the icon, this would take me straight here. And so now I have my profile I need to fix. But for now, we're going to focus on adding students into my class. I'm going to click on the down arrow on the top right, and then from here, I'm going to go to Edit Class. Now from Edit Class, there are several ways I can import a roster. The simplest way for me is to take a list of names and copy and paste them in. So I'm going to copy from the list, and here is where I'm going to copy and paste from. Now if I have an existing Word document that I already have open, and here it is, I will take these students' names and I'll just copy and paste them. So from a Microsoft Word or a PDF document, I'm going to highlight, and I'm going to copy. And once I got them highlighted, I'll just right-click in the gray area to copy. I could also use Control-C from the keyboard. And then from here, I'm just going to paste them. Right-click, paste. Now, if the right-click paste method doesn't work, use Control-V. Sometimes some of the browsers act a little funny, so it's easier to do it that way. So there's all my names. And then I just click on Add Students. But before I do, notice it populated it exactly like I had it on the list, right? So now, if I need to spell check it and add it to the dictionary, I can. There we go. Now I add my students. And there they are. I have a name associated with a little monster, right? So if I don't like that monster for David, right? And let's say that sometimes you'll have a boy that gets a girl, themed monster, maybe pink one. You could click on their name. You can edit their name, or you can click on their monster and edit their monster and give Evan maybe one of those. And then you just have to go down to the bottom right and save. So this is how you would import them and edit the ones. Like Gilda and Howard are side by side. I don't want them to have the same monster, right? So I'm going to click and I'll change Howard to that one. Now they're still similar, so I'm going to choose another one. There. So I'll give everybody a different one. Alright, so now once I do that, I hit Save and Close, and my students are now in my Class Dojo. This brief video discusses how to collect your information, but also how to separate your positive and your negatives as well, which is a common question I have from teachers. But first of all, let's show you how it makes reports. Let's say that Howard here has had several things go right for him. And a few things that have gone wrong. Oops, give him positive. So each time, over the course of a day, he's now at 0 points. And if I go and run a report on Howard, right, and if I want to end the class, and just go to reports, this shows you a 43, which if you roll over on the document itself, you'll see you have 13 negatives, 1 positive. Over here on the right, I have, come on, there we go, we have 10 positive, and then each one of these would be a positive area. Parents have a difficult time in reading this. This is one of the tougher things. But you'll notice that if you mark it 85% as being the goal that you want for rewards, possibly sitting with the teacher or receiving some other reward, an acknowledgement or certification, 85% is a good number, possibly 80. But those are good numbers. So a 43 is not a number that is desirable in your classroom. You notice when you scroll down, you'll see each icon represented. And the red ones are the negatives, and the blue ones are the positive. This is tough for parents to read, though. It's still a work in progress. it does work. It does give you a nice printout so that if you printed this and then you highlight the elements that are problems for the child, and you were turning this in as a documentation for an office referral, this would be very effective because it shows the duration, shows you the time, right, and how many times it's occurred. Back to the class, though. If I go back to my home screen or back to the classroom, and I wanted to be able to view this with the positive and negatives, a lot of teachers prefer this view coming up instead of it combining. And I had 5 positives to 5 negatives, and it basically was a wash. Instead, I can go to the display settings, and now, instead of combining my totals, I can separate my totals. And then I can save them. So it shows you the positive and the negatives. This is a little bit, it's a little bit chaotic in this view, but for me it helps. And for some of the students, if you're showing them, you can zoom in and let them see a particular student. Say, Amber, now look, you had 9 and 3, so we're going to work on the 3. But I like this view because it keeps them from being diluted, all the positive things happening, or all the negative things to be not so emphasized. But you can't get this to be seen by parents. It's almost like you want to take this and copy and paste this, this element here. But for right now, this is the best we can do. I like this view. I do like this view, but it was in the display settings, and then I chose the not combined total, which is the default, but the separate totals. All right, and hit Save Settings. So that's all there is to your settings and how you display your content.